If you got a story to tell, call Craig.
Hi, Alejandra.
Yes.
How are you
hello.
today? Tonight.
Hi. Tonight.
Yes.
I'm very good.
Did you find it okay?
The
mystery.
I went around like this is like labyrinth. Gugong, we say in Chinese.
Yeah,
Very
Google
fun.
tells you to go the other way, right?
Yeah, and I crash into, now that we are in the intercultural thing, I crash into this very Chinese way of saying things. That is not direct, right? So this lady in the cabin, I waved to her to say, I'm coming, I'm a stranger. And she was like, yeah, go in. And then after 5 steps, she was like, where are you going? And I was like, going down the road because here in my map. And she said like, you cannot go there. And I said, well, yeah, in my map. Oh, okay, well, if you want to go there. And I went all the way there to find a wall.
Yeah.
And then I had to come back. And I was a little bit pissed.
As you would.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, you could have told me that there was like, you work here. Like, it's improper to go back and kind of like tell people off. Yes, so I would just pass by.
Yeah. But how frustrating is that for a foreigner living here, having those bad days? How do you stay calm?
Well, you have to. You have to.
No choice.
Otherwise, Pudong Airport is waiting for you. It's
true.
Because this is just an anecdote that happened on an evening.
Yeah,
but like you have the whole day ahead full of these things, and today is just a Wednesday.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
so it's just an
hump day, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just another day. It is just like that. And if you don't have the skin to kind of like brush it off quickly, you don't survive. It's like your liver is not enough to survive.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely get some thicker skin living in a foreign country.
Well, thick skin or like a very Zen Buddhist monk attitude.
Right,
yes. It's easier said than done. Definitely, people get in my hair and I have to kind of like just burn this a little bit and then I have to cool down very quickly because then it's like it's worst for you, right? So anyhow.
Yeah, so the whole culture, not culture, sorry, well, yes, culture, but also the language barrier. It's I've come to deal with it because my Chinese is still not very good. That's my fault, my mistake. But sometimes the language barrier. But AI Google Translate is the best. The best thing ever.
But have you tried the local Baidu translator or any other?
Yes,
okay, and still not.
It can help, but if you're in that sort of heated situation,
you would pull out your.
Wait.
Well, in a heated situation, it's better to use your brain. It's like you better if you have the words to convey your message. Then do it. If not, like you are already on the spot, don't ridicule yourself even more. So,
that's true.
And speaking about Chinese, another anecdote for this afternoon. A friend of mine came over and I was kind of like doing, it's kind of like me buying everything and me interaction with everybody. And he had the nerve to say, Alejandra, it's like your tones are not right.
Oh.
And it's like, you like no ego here. So right? It's like, I know I'm not perfect and I'm always trying to improve, right? Because if you don't have this open attitude, then you're lost. Yeah. And I said, then it's like, where was my mistake, right? A teacher,
Yeah.
It's like, did I say, 请问 instead of 请问? It's like, tell me. And he said, I cannot point out anything specifically, but I know that your tones were not right. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, it's like, you can criticize me, but you have to, from an upper position, not from a lower position. Anyhow, it's another Wednesday, Wednesday afternoon.
That's very true.
For me.
I've had that as well, and you just gotta deal with it, I guess. It's a tough situation, but anyway.
Try.
I wanted to talk about how we met.
How we met?
Yeah, so we met at the Pearl Theatre for Papa G. Very, very popular in these parts of the world.
Yes.
For his birthday party.
He invited us all for his birthdays.
Yes.
Yes. But this one was a dual party because it was the anniversary. At the same time, the Russians were celebrating their New Year.
Yes.
Amazing party.
Yeah, and they had the Russian songs that night as well. Yeah, that was great. And they had the pictures of them on the wall. So cute.
Beautiful. And the albums.
Yes.
So many albums. I was like amazed. I had too many questions, but they were busy with other people.
And Papa G said, "You two, you got a podcast, you got a podcast.
Talk to each other." And we look at each other. It's like, I have a interview podcast, because I'm an introvert. I like other people to talk.
Right.
And so we were like, okay.
There you go. And away we went.
We talk about, yes.
There you go.
So yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Podcast.
Tell me about your podcast.
People, crazy people. Why you started this beautiful
project? Because I've
project?
talked about it hundreds of times on how I did it. And
oh, okay. I have to go back and watch.
Well, yeah, it was, I wanted to do it. I started it in 2020. So before that, I wanted to do it with my friends. We wanted to do a sports one. And we had the whole introduction. Like, we'd get a can of beer. Yeah. And that's how
get started.
That's how we'd start the podcast. And it never happened. We tried it once after I'd done like 100 podcasts, and we tried to commentate over watching a game of rugby league, and it just didn't work out. There was kids coming in. There was wives. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah. So it never worked out. So I just decided to.
But you were on the path to make a podcast. So.
Yeah. So I just decided to do it myself, and there was one girl, and Vivian Vadja was my first one. I lied. I said I had a podcast, and it's all good, and she got all dressed up, and it was just audio at the time. So, and we just
you dress up for an audio podcast.
But she didn't know that.
The attitude.
She didn't know that. She had all the lipstick up, and she looked beautiful. And I was like, oh, just doing audio. I was like, So, but we got it done. That was maybe 20 minutes. And
it helps with the voice. It helps.
Yeah. And that was the start. That was the start of it.
Great. Okay.
And then you're 100.
That's a good story.
You're 180
episodes.
7.
Wow, well done.
On and off since 2020.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
So yeah, that's how it all started. But how's
my podcast?
How's your podcast?
Okay. Well, my podcast is much more. Yeah, according to our personality, I'm much more serious and strict and nerdy. So I started with this thing. I would say in the search, probably that's the thing that connects us, in the search of what can I bring to the world and what I'm good at that can help other people. And I didn't really find anything. I'm a funny person, very entertaining, have a good voice. I have lots of ideas, but yeah, you cannot do any real good podcast with that. So I kept thinking, and especially I came across this, that I spent so much time learning Chinese and trying to learn about China. And also I'm very proud of coming from a rich culture that is a Hispanic culture. And I came with this idea. In the world, English is the third most important language, but not the first, neither the second. But it's overrepresented. Like over 80% of the digital content is spoken in English, which is I'm not that kind of people that is like fight against the empire. No, I'm not that person, because English have helped me connect with the world. So I recognize that English actually is a value, an asset. But at the same time, I wanted to bring Spanish and Chinese. Why? Because they are the most spoken languages in the world. And also because when you are speaking your language, you are bringing your own stories. There's so many things coded in the language, right? So instead of complaining, I want to just step in and provide. Also, I was a little bit kind of like, a thing that makes me angry a little bit, being a foreigner that likes China and tries to understand China, is that the content offer in the digital media is either you love China or you hate China. So neither of these two positions are real and educational for the world. You cannot, because you absorb, these discourses, they become your discourse. So I don't feel smart in this dichotomy, right? I don't feel smart. So again, it's like I don't like how China is portrayed in the world. So what is my suggestion or my proposal, right? So I came with this idea of interviewing people that are in the intersection between the Chinese world and the Hispanic world. Yeah. And with that, I kind of like satisfied these things that were burning down in my heart. I was very passionate about, because it's not me talking, it's not me lecturing. It's more like there's a real person that have walked the walk, right? It's like, listen to this story, because it's something that probably you never imagined. It's like you never imagined there was a girl, a Taiwanese girl, that fell in love with flamenco dance, and she went on to study it. And she came back to China and she opened the first flamenco dance studio in Shanghai.
That's so
right?
Cool.
It's so, it's like, it makes me proud. Yeah. It's like, I'm not like, and also you learn from this. It's kind of like, there's no cultural appropriation. It's like, the world is for you. And if you are, willing to learn and you feel that you can contribute enhancing this, that is good for the whole humanity, like bring it in, Yeah. There's another guy from Colombia, and he made lots of money here in China, like doing international trade. But at some point he was empty in his heart. So he was like really, thinking about like, where's my life going? It's kind of like, I have all these material things, but what have I done,
Right.
And in a dream, he came up with this idea. I want to give something to China. China has given me so much. I want to give something. And as a Colombian, of course, he thought coffee, but, right. Giving each Chinese person a cup of coffee is kind of like... So he thought that maybe he could take traditional Latin American Colombian music and play it with traditional Chinese instruments. For you that love it is a challenge, because the instruments they give you possibilities, right? So traditional music is meant to play traditional songs, right? Yeah. But there's a possibility to build a bridge. So he did that, and he's very successful. And this story, did you heard about it? Nobody heard about it, right? So who is gonna tell this story? So it was me, and especially because all these people that are naming is people that I admire deeply, that I have probably they didn't know me before the interview. Right. I knew them. I knew that it existed because I search and follow and support it and all that. Like, I'm a big fan of all these people that I support. So it feels amazing to kind of like knock the door on these people and say, like, I have a platform where you can enhance what you do. So this is basically the podcast. It has been going since 2024.
Great.
And I've already recorded over 50 interviews.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about how many podcasts you've done, I think, what was the average? I think it's like 8 to 10. The majority of people that start a podcast will stop at 10. If you can do more than 10, you're on your way. So for you to do 50 is a great achievement.
Yeah.
Did you celebrate 50?
Before,
yeah.
because with the producer, it's a team, right? It's like, of course, I'm the director, I'm the main, engine that is pushing this forward. But of course, you have to ask for help, especially if you want to reach certain quality and notoriety, and you want to do things the right way. So yeah, we have celebrated all these benchmarks that we have reached, and back at the time when the first video was seen by, it has 1,000 views, we were kind of like just throwing everything to the air, right? Yeah. Now, like we have over 56,000 views.
Wow.
It's kind of like, it's like one interview have reached 9,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better. The more people think. And that's really, really cool. I mean, I think in China, it can get a little bit lonely if you're not in a relationship and you're single, and if you're living here. It's a big city.
It's a big city,
and it can get a little lonely if you don't have friends here. So,
as a man,
well, both really, both. What do you think?
Well, I am a Latin American woman, very short, and I walk through China, and sometimes people think I'm Chinese, but not the right type of Chinese. So people, especially if you speak Chinese with an accent. By the way, I'm all my languages, I speak them with an accent. It's not only English. Yeah. So people assume that I'm from the periphery of China, which is a minority. Right. We call it in Chinese small number ethnic groups. Right. And from some communities are Muslims and that have had some troubles in China. It's like very small proportion of that whole group is making trouble. So people assume that I'm part of anything of that. So yeah, it's a little bit like life. Right. You wish people did not notice you, but when people notice you under this bad light, is very difficult. Yeah. I don't feel lonely at all, because it's kind of like even in the bathrooms. Right? It's like sometimes you have no doors or no walls. Yeah. So it's like there's no way, no place where you can feel lonely, right? So yeah, I don't think for me as a Mexican woman, the feeling is not lonely. Is for example, even when China is very safe, life for very a woman, very safe with a big V. Yes. And I really appreciate, especially being a Mexican, is kind of like, doesn't matter anything else. It's like safety. But that doesn't mean that you can be just you. Like as a woman, you always have to be really careful. And things that happened to me in this beautiful, very safe China. Is people have yell at me horrible things. People have tried to touch me. I have come across people that I don't know where they get the wrong message, because I usually don't go around, with any sexual energy. On the contrary, because I come from this culture that is like, if something happens to you, it was your fault, kind of a thing. So I'm always very conscious of it's kind of like, don't give anybody any hidden message or any, intention. Like very, have very clear communication. Yes. And even so, you come across very situations that are discomforting. But yeah, it's just like life as a woman, Yeah.
My first experience was to support an online group. That was my first job here. I traveled all around. So I guess the one thing about not being able to speak Chinese and understand it is that you can't understand what they're saying. So I know Lawai, I know certain words, but they would stare at you. They would touch my hair, and they were seeing like a foreigner for the first time. I was going to these little villages, had 50 people. Amazing experience, but the whole culture thing is just very, very, very different. And I'm trying to get a dating in China podcast happening very soon. I keep saying that, and my plan is to get 3 or 4 foreigners, discuss their stories about dating here. The one thing, you must have dated a Chinese person before.
Okay.
Don't come on the podcast and say that you've only dated foreign people. That's not what I want, okay? And and then the second podcast is I want the Chinese people, then 2 or 3 Chinese people to come on, listen to the foreigners, and then
comment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Like to have the view. Like Oh, that's cool. The new trend is like you want nothing with anybody. It's like the Korean girls. Oh, yeah. It's like no. It's like no boyfriend, no dating, no sex, no marriage, no children, no nothing.
What's that called? Ding double or no marriage either.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's why the numbers are going down.
Well, it's a global trend. I think it's kind of like if you want to discuss it to that level, I think it's kind of like the sign of our times, right? It's like this life economic structure is making us move towards that, like super isolation, right? And that it becomes difficult and annoying to have contact with other people. So very good that you are inviting people over still.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get back to where you were born.
Okay.
You told me the city.
Yes,
before.
It's difficult because I was born in the east of Mexico. Okay. Right? Part of my family has deep roots in that area, but my mom decided that she and I should move across the country. And
was your mom and dad both Mexican?
Yes, yes. I have some ancestry, real Mexicans, because it's also a question that I get a lot here.
What
because
do you
of
mean
my
by,
eyes.
What do you mean by real Mexican?
Yes, because they don't believe that I could be like a true Mexican.
Oh, true blood. Okay.
Yes, because first I speak Chinese, and second I have some features that get people confused, especially because of the stereotype. It's like, what is a Mexican? A short, chubby, round-faced. In Chinese is like a short nose, right? Because it's like you have tall nose, and I also have tall nose. Cao bei dizi. It's like they cannot figure me out. They cannot put me in a box. So it's kind of like you must be Spaniard, or you must be Russian, or I'm not that tall.
I would actually, sorry to cut in there. If my first look, I thought you were Russian as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
You have a Russian, I don't know.
Oh, thank you. Yes, so I'm supporting this podcast and putting money down, like the first million here. Thank you so much.
We could support each other's podcast.
Very good.
But I don't know.
You look from Australia. Where are you from? Yeah, thank you for that compliment. Russian girls are beautiful.
They are beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm not that. No, I'm not that. So and they listen to me speaking, and they are like Latin American definitely, but they don't figure the last option is Mexico because I'm not brown enough to be Mexican.
Yeah, right.
Right, so sometimes like I'm not white enough to be, I'm not brown enough to be, I'm not tall enough, I'm not short enough, I'm not. It's always very difficult, and also the thing is kind of like because Mexico is also a multicultural country, so people assume that because I don't hit that regular box, I must be like some of the Chinese that are mixed families or born here and raised there. So they're try in a way to kind of like square the equation. I'm like, no, I'm pure blood Mexican. My mom and dad are Mexicans. Back in the day, of course, we have some ancestry coming from Europe, but that's it.
Okay. And growing up, can you say the city?
Yes, I was very lucky to land in Guadalajara.
Guadalajara.
Yes.
Okay.
It's difficult to pronounce because it comes from the Arab.
Right.
Yeah.
And growing up there, school-wise, were you a smart girl? Were you a shy girl? Tell us about growing up.
I enjoy the whole spectrum, right? It's like I went all the way to be the worst, like -0 degrees. It's like we are just about to kick you out from the school to be like, top marks.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So where did that take you? You going to universities? Tell us about that.
Well, I was studying in a very good school in Guadalajara. It's run by a religious organization that is called the Jesuits, probably you know, but they are very open-minded. So it's religious, but very different, like Montessori, cool Montessori.
Oh yeah.
So I had a lot of freedom. At the same time, they have a sense of discipline.
Okay.
I'm also the eldest, so I have a sense of discipline.
So you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have siblings.
Okay.
So I was the big boss, like the responsible person. Everything happened, I was the one to blame. So I learned to kind of like get things organized and see ahead, right? So, and I was very autonomous, right? It's like talking to my sister and exchanging some perspectives. It seems that her mom and my mom, even when they were like biologically the same person, but because she did not mother us at the same time of her life, we had different people. Right. I was raised by a mother that she was very young, trying to figure her life. So it was like she was like overwhelmed. Now I see it as like just, you were in late 20s, 30s, like it's not a big deal, right? But for my mom was like, oh my God. And now I have 4 kids and I want to still have energy to do this, but I can't. And, torn by all these things. Yeah. So this is a perfect moment because you as a kid is like, your problems, not mine. And as much as I don't draw attention, negative attention, I'm free to do whatever I want and I can do whatever I want. And I had a lot of space and a nice personality. It's kind of like I just knock the door of my neighbors and it's kind of, oh, Alejandra, are you staying for supper? And I was like, I was not planning, but what are you cooking? Right? So yeah, it was like a lot of freedom. And for my sister it was like the opposite, right? It's kind of like, so yeah, I enjoyed, as I was growing up, I enjoy a lot, like all this freedom. It came with the thing that I did not have anybody to be pampering me and taking care of me. But, and which, if I see it in perspective, and now with everything that we know about how people hurt children, I was in many situations that I could be in real danger. But then that independence and feeling alone gave me the ability to understand risks. So I'm a risk taker, but I know my strengths.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that was a very good. And I grew up in Guadalajara, which is an amazing city in Mexico. I always say it's like the Shanghai of Mexico.
Right. Wow.
It's not the capital, but it's a financial center. There's a lot of culture, a lot of foreigners coming in because we have the biggest book fair. It's it's a big I don't know if I can say this here, big ass book fair. Yeah, you will say, oh, you have Frankfurt. Yeah, but Frankfurt is global. This is just for Spanish. And big businesses are dealt there or agreed there. And we also have a lot of culture that is for free in the city, like a lot of museums, galleries, writers, musicians. the International Film Festival. So it's kind of like it's like Shanghai. There's always something amazing to see.
And we talked about it before, the World Cup as well.
And the World Cup is coming to my city. Welcome to Guadalajara.
How excited is your country and your city?
And my city, well, hold on, because people are going to be like, if something happens, we're going to blame you. Well, Mexico is going through a very difficult situation. And recently, a month ago, they caught and killed one of the heads of a big organization, the cartel organization, and it was very close. The equivalent of Tapalpa to Guadalajara would be as if we are here and this situation happened in Songjiang, as close as that.
Yeah, right.
So it is in the city, and many things happen in the city. So people we Mexicans, we live thanks to the tourism, so we really care about the tourism, but be careful.
Yeah. And the other thing that I see about Mexico is every time Metallica or AC/DC or the big rock bands, they go down there and they don't get to see it as all the time. But when they do, oh my God, they sing every song and they're so... The mosh pit's like bouncing up and down, so passionate. I love seeing that.
Yeah, Guadalajara is a very connected city. You know, it's like not only in transportation, like international flights and everything, but it's a university city.
Right.
So the average citizen, it has a different profile, right? It's like there's plenty of bookstores and libraries and coffee shops, and we have the culture of sitting down, have coffee and discuss things. So it's pretty cool, and has great weather, great food. And
I'm gonna have to check now and see if Australia are gonna play in Mexico in their group thing. Their second game is against America, so you gotta help us support. We've got to beat America, right? Okay.
Well, you know, I have many American citizens friends, so I'm.
Don't worry about that. So.
And look at the situation. It's like, look at the situation. You should feel sorry. Like, give them the prize.
Yeah.
Without even playing. Like, please give. Like, these people really need support. And be a little bit empathetic with the Americans.
Yeah. Like I said, I was just there last month, and I really like it there. It gets a bad rap, but I think it's a very diverse country, and if you can block out the politics and what's going on, you meet some of the nicest people you ever meet. Yeah. I really like it. Jayo, USA.
And it's going to turn 250 years old.
That's amazing.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, and Australia's getting close to 250 as well. So
there you go. Celebration when,
So go back to around your university time. When did you start getting involved with public speaking in Mexico?
From day one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I'm a natural leader. That's something that, I can, I noticed that it is part of me. I didn't develop, this was just the way I am. So I was part of the, you would say, the student union, right, of the career. And I started noticing that because we studied international relations, so we had to present a lot. And part of the educational program, it has to do with presenting, like be confident in public. So with our classes, we were asked to do presentations, but nobody really taught us how. And people were feeling like your students. It's kind of like, oh my God, like this is horrible. You know, I don't want to do this. Doing it terrible, right? And they were marked. So I organized, I call an expert in the city, a consultant that trained politicians and other people to, we designed together these like a mini public speaking course, a workshop that is like, it has the study part and also the practice. Very nice for my group. So yeah, I was not only, practicing, I was organizing for other people to benefit from that. And from that moment, Toastmasters started to be on my radar, but I did not have the chance to join any club. And actually, I remember that at some point before coming to China this time, it was like 10 years ago, I thought that I was going to stay in Mexico longer. So I started looking for clubs. And very interesting. Guadalajara is also very interesting in that regard. They have clubs in English, clubs in Spanish, clubs for young entrepreneurs, for old people, like very diverse. And I didn't stay with any because I moved here. And then here, I discovered Toastmasters Shanghai. So yeah, I visit some groups. I was president of 2 of the groups.
Fantastic.
Yes.
What tips do you have then for like public speaking or being a leader in general? Do you have an example of a story or something like that?
Yeah, well, I have like a lifetime of
What's one that stands
lights
out?
and darks of being a public speaker and a leader. Yeah. As I said, first, a leader is like a natural call for me. I remember have leadership positions since I was 4 years old in kindergarten. So
was it naturally, or did it take time to?
No, it was natural. It is a combination, right? Because one thing is you have like a natural talent for example, I step up when there's a problem. I don't shy away. And the person is like, what's wrong? It's like, what do we need to do here? Or who is the bully? It's kind of like, I'm going to punch his face. Yeah, it's kind of like justice and order and let's do things is always in me. But one thing is you have this kind of like natural talent, and another thing is develop that talent. So I've read a lot, and I create situations for myself where I could grow in these abilities. So that's what I can say. And in public speaking, me also being a consultant and teacher on public speaking, I think the most important thing is that people understand that they are unique. They have a unique voice, a unique angle to observe the world. In all the millions of years that the world have existed, and the millions of years that it will, hopefully exist much more, there's nobody that has your perspective. So if you don't tell your story, the world is missing something important. So it's not, the public speaking is not about, oh, me, I'm so great, and you guys listen to me. It's more like you have the tool to help other people figure out something important out. You have the tool to inspire people. You have the tool to instruct people. So this is your responsibility. So always public speaking, especially when people say, oh, I'm so shy. No, it's like, think of the service that you're giving. So yeah, from that on, you develop your style and your voice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Let's go back now. So what was the first decision to come to China? I do read that you were learning China in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then you had a holiday here in Shanghai?
No, a scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah. So the story goes back that when I was young, as we are all a little bit arrogant, right? In my 20s, I had already learned so many languages, European languages.
What was the fascination?
Well, it's probably a quality of each person's brain. Some brains are, they easy understand abstract concepts. Other brains understand movement. Other brains understand space and volume. And some of us, we tend to understand language. So, for example, if you meet a lawyer or a writer, right, it's like, of course, you are like a words person.
Yes.
So I thought I was good at languages, right? In my, very, arrogant position. And at that time, I had a little bit of money because I changed jobs, right? So the salary between the two there was a gap that you can easily, fill up with any silly thing. It's very easy to adjust your expenses to your salary, right? So I was like, how to protect this, opportunity that I have. And at that time, especially, that's my tip. When you're young, the best investment is in your brain, in your abilities. So I said, I thought I naturally learn languages, so I should challenge myself learning a new language, but it's not from the European family in my pretentious years. So I was just looking around, and it happened that I've always been a biker. Like, I love to ride bikes.
Bicycle? Okay.
In Mexico, yeah. Before they were popular and before there were like public bikes, like this program, the city program, I was riding a bike. And at that time I was working for the government, for the municipal government. So obviously downtown, that's why it's called downtown, because it's downhill, right? And I was living uphill. So, of course, to go to the office is very easy because you go,
straight down.
Yeah, but after 10 hours working, you have to go back, right? So, and especially, any people that does sports, like, that it takes a bit to warm up your muscle. So once they are warm, you don't want to stop until the end. So I always take this particular road in Guadalajara that is very good for cyclists, but because it doesn't have that much traffic and it's very wide with trees.
Right.
So it's perfect, right? And it happened, from my luck, that the cultural house of China was there. So I always kind of like just turn my face and say, oh, look, this is a cultural house. But then just pass it and pass it and pass it. And one day I decided, okay, it's like I'm going to cool down my muscles, but I need to know. So I went there. It's a very funny story because it's an immigrant family that they were probably escaping from China. And they only knew, their only tool or skill for the woman was a couple, was knowing Spanish. Because at that time she didn't want to learn Spanish. It just happens that China needed Spanish speakers. So she had to study Spanish. So when she had the opportunity, went to Mexico. And she and her husband started from zero. So it's a very nice story where they kind of like developed together.
That's great.
And when I met them, there was a established institution, like almost like a honorary consulate of China in my city. And she created this space for people to know about China. And of course, her passion was Tai Chi Chuan, Tai Chi and Tuina and Moxibustion and all these little things that Mexicans are very drawn into.
Right.
And as an addition, the language courses. But she was not interested in teaching Chinese. She did not know how to teach Chinese. She didn't have any material. But the thing is, like, she was a Shanghainese woman, so they are very good at business.
Right.
So it's great because, and she knew her market. So she charged you with a enrollment fee.
Right.
She charged you with the first 2 months of classes. She charged you with the book. And most of the people, 99.9% of the people enrolling in her course, give up after 3 weeks. So it was a perfect business, beautiful. She didn't have to think about, it's beautiful. I need a business like that. The problem was that I joined this group that starts shrinking.
Yeah.
But I continue, and my classmate, we both continued studying. And we were just flipping pages. Also because it was no program. You are into education, right? me as well. So we know that there's a program, a syllabus, like a calendar. Like this school was like the teacher decided when we should learn the next lesson, like that. It was we never did an exam,
Right.
of course, because who was going to create the exam, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and there was no like any type of evaluation assessment. It was just like the teacher feels that you are good to pass to the next page. Then we just so we continue. We finished the first book. Oh, because it's very Chinese. She brought from China only one book. It's like, imagine Chinese level 1, only one book, and she photocopied it.
Oh, yeah.
And she would sell it to you as an original. So we finished the first book, and then we were kind of like, there's no book. Oh, hold on, because I need to call my cousin to send me the second book. So we finished studying the second book, and then the third book, and like that, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, my teacher was kind of like, okay, there's this scholarship between the state of Jalisco and Shanghai. And I can appoint 2 candidates to compete for this scholarship. It was a very short scholarship here in the university, only 6 weeks of classes, which is nothing. But long story short, I came to China in 2012 with that scholarship.
Right. And what was your first experience like of going to see, meeting people? What was it like?
At that time, I already could speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And read, and so it's like going by, transportation and basic things. But yeah, definitely that experience opened my eyes, and I continuously tell this story that is not the same being the best in your school, little school in Guadalajara, than then be placed after a test, being placed at your level according to your proficiency, and be sitting around very much younger than me. People much younger, and that they have studied much less time Chinese. And especially what it hurt me a lot, that I came back with this kind of like infuriated, like very creative force.
Great.
Was they all came here supported. I had the chance to come to this quote unquote scholarship because I had money to pay for it. Right? It's like the scholarship only was like classes and accommodation, but nothing else. Right? And I was comparing myself to everybody else. And I was like, oh my God, like Mexicans, even we have people, very talented people, but the talent cannot match the opportunities. Right? And even with the countries that are much less developed than Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? Much smaller. I'm not telling, that any country is less important, but Mexico is a 14th economy. We are the biggest Spanish-speaking country, the second economy of Latin America.
Wow.
And we have very deep ties with China.
What's first then?
The first economy is Brazil.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but
wow, I didn't know that.
Well, Brazil is a powerhouse, yes. Yeah, everybody has Brazil in the map. That's why the BRICS, and they start with a B. Yeah, it's a big country. Very impressive.
I love Brazil.
Yeah.
I want to go back there.
Me too. Take me.
It was amazing experience. I went to Brazil and Argentina. Fantastic.
Big countries, yeah. Yeah, Argentina also is very interesting.
I was actually looking for English teaching jobs.
Oh,
I liked it that much.
Oh, well, you should.
Kicking and screaming.
It's like, give me a job. I want to stay.
It was a while back, but it was still very nice. And I actually have been to Tijuana.
Tijuana, yeah.
So I've got it on my passport somewhere.
The tip of Mexico,
that's
northern
it.
tip. Very interesting place.
I wanted to send, but I only got scraped a little bit of it. So there's many places that I want to visit in Mexico, but I can say that I've been there for one day. But yeah, it's very touristy, but yeah.
Well, we Mexicans regard that part of the country because it's like the last city in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the border.
Yeah.
So we don't really consider Mexico, especially because for Mexico, you have to understand that even when from the independence onwards, we have over 200 years. But before the independence, that we have 300 years of colony, and before that, thousands of years of different kinds of civilization. So we regard ourselves, like the Chinese, is like a long history kind of civilization. So Tijuana is a place where people are never from there. You know, in other parts of Mexico, especially in the center, it's like there's families that have centuries. You know, their family house is old, you know, it's a palace in the middle of the city, right? But Tijuana is like everybody is from other places different from there.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yep, I'll get back there. Don't worry. It's just
yeah. Well, one of my favorite musicians, Mexican favorite musician, actually she's from Tijuana, Julieta Venegas, and I think it's a good example why Tijuana is worth it to visit now, because that situation of being the borderline made Tijuana very creative,
right?
Especially because of the mixture. So people go to Tijuana, don't feel shy that you only go to Tijuana. Don't worry, it's a great city. But if you have the chance, at least go to Mexico City. Ta-da-ta-da-da-da-da-da.
Is that a cliche or is that true? It's the number one drink.
Well, it's a traditional drink that dates back before the Hispanics came to Mexico. And the story goes that the goddess of nature loved so much the humans that were living there that she decided to give them a gift. And the gift was this distilled liquor that after the Hispanics came with their technology and some other, instrument tools, tequila was made. Yeah, but originally the pre-Hispanics communities, they already were making a liquor out of agave.
There you go. And I have one thing written down here is that it was in one of your articles that you gave me that you have a female president.
Oh, yes. Yes,
how good is that?
It's very interesting, actually.
Is it the first one?
It's the first female president. But he's not the first politician that have kind of like a scratch the glass ceiling in Mexico.
Okay.
No, we had other female candidates, president candidates in the past. Like 35 years ago, we had the first females that were kind of like, competing for the big post, but they didn't really have possibilities. So, in my lifetime, I've seen a big change in the political culture in Mexico. And what I said in one of the interviews is that actually that change may open the possibility to have a female. And I did a special research and a panel with Mexicans before we knew the result of the election, because of the reason that in the running to the election day, we were 100% sure that we were going to have a female president. Because the two strongest candidates, the only ones that have possibilities, they were both women.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
That's in in a country that has very high rates of feminicide. Is interesting, right? It's like this dichotomy, this paradox, right? But it tells you a little bit about where Mexico moved towards. That in some regards, I see that is getting a little bit more progressive than even United States. That was our example, right?
How many women presidents of the US had?
None. And the joke is that the very bad joke, but we Mexicans are very harsh with our humor, very black humor. But we said, like, these Americans, they are so traditional and conservative that they prefer to put in the presidency an African American rather than a woman.
Yeah. We had our first female prime minister in the 2010s, I think. So that was groundbreaking for
you also.
Yeah, for our country as well. It was like times are changing.
Yeah.
This is the way it is now.
Yeah.
So.
But we were not the first ones in Latin America, though. Yeah, Dilma Rousseff in Brazil.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Michelle Bachelet in Chile. Yeah, we had other presidents in Costa Rica, for example. So we were a very traditional country before, but I think Mexico changed.
And that was one of the questions that I asked my students last week. Do you think that maybe not in our lifetime, but do you think the Chinese will ever have a leader, a female leader?
I believe, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think they've got some in high places, but not at the top.
Well, I always regard and keep on repeating that we actually have to regard China with a positive view when it comes to female rights. Of course, when I said this, my Chinese friends are kind of like, Alejandra, but you don't know, and you're comparing us to other countries. Like, I understand their fight, and they still are insatisfied with what they have. And there's many areas that objectively you can say, yes, the parity, equality have not been reached. But in comparison to in comparison to the world, I think that Chinese women, they have high possibilities of moving forward. Just look at Times Magazine. Last year, in one of the weeks, published this recreation of this famous picture in New York with the workers that were sitting on this beam, the iron beam. But they changed the workmen with the CEOs of the biggest AI companies. Do you remember that cover?
Yeah.
And I remember because I was looking at them trying to test me. It's like, how many of this did you know, right? And I've noticed that there were only 3 women. And all of these 3 women were Chinese.
There you go.
So it's kind of like, I am amazed how the world has this very wrong about China. Many things, perceptions are wrong or distorted, but this one is very important that people understand. China is very feminist. And yes.
Fun fact, 3 of my 4 boss CEOs here in China have been female.
But what's the problem with this one? Why?
It's
like, yeah. Me as well. Like, if I, bring into memory all the female bosses, there are not only, we have to stress that, it's not only, it's kind of like your supervisor, is the founder of the company, the CEO of the company is a female.
Yeah.
Call Craig.